rode on the back of we found something. We rode on the back of a tow truck.
In the van.
In the van, which is illegal. And then they hitched the trailer to the tow truck. Luckily, we were only like 20 miles from like the next like biggest city, whatever.
I think of cover songs.
Hotline Bling.
Yeah, Hotline Bling is the one that we.
Yeah.
We also did.
Everything is Easy by Third Eye Blind. That was a good one.
Jealous.
I like that.
By Nick Jonas. Yeah.
I remember you did
Also
Cake by
Hollow
the
and
Ocean one time.
Yeah, we also did Company by Justin Bieber.
Actually, that I think was my favorite one.
This is before I was in the band.
Die for You.
Yeah,
by
I was
Bring
gonna
Me the
say
Horizon.
Die for You over the Horizon. It's new, but we did that last night.
It felt
And-
great.
Whew, we were getting hyped.
Our pre-show is like that. Rake It Up by Yo Gotti.
This new Baby
Baby
Keem
Keem.
record is definitely gonna be up there too.
That's really
Yeah.
good. I love that record.
We have a lot of like memey songs that are like kind of inside jokes with us that like definitely should not be on whatever playlist we're making, but that's always kind of been a push and pull.
Bridge and New Age Medication is very much inspired by the bridge in Don't Cry by Coin, where like he like drops out and he's
yeah.
put on your favorite sweater. Dun-dun.
Yeah.
John,
That's
don't cry.
That song makes me want to cry.
Yeah, that song.
I think for me, lyrically, like, I think the game changed for me with when Phoebe Bridgers put out Punisher. Like, Savior Complex, that was like, yo, I want to write like this all the time.
Yeah.
I wish I could pull it off as well as her.
Yeah, John Bellion and John Mayer lyrically, I think, are probably top notch. Matt Thiessen too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Just really just like grew up listening to him a lot. I think he's just really good. Like, he's like a good mix of. I feel like all the other three people. He's like clever, but also like says things like sort of like Phoebe Bridgers sometimes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did those. John Bellion,
You're like,
I think like more obscure.
Jimmy Stack.
I would love to do a song with Bareface
Same.
from Brockhampton. Brockhampton has kind of slowed down. He's kind of been all over the place just doing features, but that dude's voice and just his overall vibe is just awesome. He's great. I don't know.
I'm trying to think of like who would make also sense to be a collaboration with him.
We did randomly talk about Black Bear hopping on a song this morning because we have a song that would low-key be sick for Black Bear to be on. That's not out yet, but
I would say production-wise, at that point, I've been listening to a lot of a guy named Jimmy Stack. It's spelled like Jim E. Stack.
yeah.
And I just really like what he does, like drum wise and synth wise, I guess. So that's kind of the verses, and then like I don't really know. Like the choruses are very like it's just very down the line, like punk rock, and I think that we kind of I had made the verses, and I was like, okay, but like how does this become a Wildlife song? And we had like just come off of putting out songs like Anxious and Blood Orange. And it's like, all right, let's play a ton of power chords
Yeah.
and sing really high and loud. And then
little teenage dirt.
yeah, lyrically like Teenage Dirtbag. What's the song by Simple Plan? I'm just a kid and life is a nightmare. What is that called again?
All I think is, and I don't think that's the track.
No, that's All Star
I
by
think
Smash.
it's Just a Kid. I think that's what it's called.
All About the Kid. But yeah, like that whole kind of vibe of like being a loser in high school and
Mhm.
liking the head cheerleader and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Cheer captain.
I'd probably say either And So It Goes by Billy Joel, which is like usually like my answer for this kind of question. Or similarly, When She Loved Me from Toy Story 2. That song is
Dad.
that song's forever.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna stick with like the nostalgia, and I'll say More Than Useless by Reliant K.
Mm.
My Reliant K song, Reliant K
For
is
the
my.
rest of your life, that'd be the only one.
I think so.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. That's got everything. I feel like that song can check most of the boxes for me.
Yeah.
I would maybe Under the Gun by the Killers
Yeah.
or
Through the Fire.
Through the Fire.
White House Road. I've been listening to like the past year and a half nonstop by Tyler Childers, the live version specifically.
The live version just hits different, you know?
I think it's much better than the studio version.
I definitely.
Yeah, that's a tough question.
That is.
It is a tough question because then you have to think, like, I usually listen to like 20 songs an hour. And so now I can only listen to one the rest of my life. I'm like,
I'm gonna go with Under the Gun as the final.
under the gun.
Ask the Lonely by Journey.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember that. Yeah, I'm still gonna probably say a Reliant K song. Probably like "Be My Escape" by Reliant K. That was like one of the first songs I ever learned on guitar,
Yeah.
and now it's like I'm doing the thing. I'm playing guitar in a band, like a weird.
Doing that.
Yeah.
I may have said Reliant K, but I'll go Everything Is Alright by Motion City Soundtrack.
New Skin by Beach Weather.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Mostly I bias because in the music video there's like a slow-mo shot. It's like totally the whole "My Hand Is a Dolphin" thing from the Rebecca Black. You know what I'm talking about? That Friday video where like there's the meme where somebody's doing that in that New Skin video, and it just looks so appealing to me. So yeah, that's what I think of immediately.
Driving song.
Like I haven't thought about that song at all, but the second that you say "driving song," that's what I think.
Even better by Circa Survive. That song, the instrumental of that song alone is like so good for like driving.
I think it's an even tie for me between "Lightyear" by The Story So Far
It's great.
and "Hold On, We're Going Home" by Drake.
Oh.
That's one that you can put, like, I feel like that's a song that you can put on repeat, turn the volume down, and then it never feels like it starts and ends. It can just.
Turner of the Mac by Mark Morrison. Easy.
From a different. There's so many decades. Say. Ooh.
I know where I'm going.
I'm gonna say.
Close spot.
I'm gonna say 1979 by the Smashing Pumpkins.
That is really great.
Or I feel like that's so basic of like Smashing Pumpkins though.
Cherub Rock too.
Cherub Rock is nuts.
That guitar tone's crazy.
I think maybe Starla by the Smashing Pumpkins. That song, I love that guitar line.
I think what is this one? The one with the. Yeah, Rock of Ages by Def Leppard. When I'm put on the spot about, or you know what? Since this technically is a decade we are not in, and also the is also a decade we're not in.
Oh, that's
weird. I'm gonna go Down by Jay Sean.
that. Yeah.
That's a bop.
Ooh, actually, I'm switching my answer.
Okay.
None of the things I just said. Don't Matter by Akon. That is my final answer.
Interesting.
Yeah, that song is.
Middle school gym, running in circles.
Gosh.
That song.
It's an Akon.
And then I Got a Feeling. And then It's My Life Bon Jovi.
And like
Replay by Iaz.
Oh my gosh. All I can think of is like that gummy bear song that's literally what that reminds me of. Like
Which one?
like that gummy bear song where it's like talking about being a gummy bear.
Yeah, which song reminds you of that?
Probably all of them. That era.
Oh, Because it reminds me of middle school. So, like, all I can think about is that Gummy Bear song. Because, like, everyone around me would play it. And I'm like, I'm going to go insane. But it's also, it just gets stuck in your head.
Yeah.
So you're just
Hamster.
Hamster.
I forgot about all of this.
Crazy Frog, Axel F.
That's it, yeah. Crazy Frog. Damn, where did they go?
What an era.
Yeah.
I would say Forgive and Forget. Top three would be Forgive and Forget, Other Side, and I don't know. I really like Nothing But Time. But all of those are because of how they, well, Nothing But Time goes live.
It does.
Yeah.
So I'd say Forgive and Forget or Other Side are my two favorites.
My top three on this song sorter are Nightmare, Forgive and Forget, and Anxious. I'd swap out Anxious for Close to You at this point.
I think the one that we haven't put out yet is the one I've been listening to the most lately. But of everything that's out,
Great answer.
maybe I do like the one no one knows. Maybe Boy. I don't know. That one's like been a long time favorite.
Yeah, but fire.
I think this is my favorite. This is my favorite story. So we played Salt Lake City with Nightly, and then the next day, so like then we went to Waffle House, or no, we went to Denny's at like 1 a.m. Drove 2 hours, stayed at an Airbnb in like Nevada, then went to the Salt Flats the next day, then got in the van, started driving
To San Francisco.
to San Francisco. We had a day off, but then the next day we had a show in San Francisco. And in the middle of Nevada, one of our wheels basically just fell off, kind of. Not all the way.
The bearing fell out.
All
Yeah.
the wheels were pointed forward, except one was pointed at a 90-degree angle to the side.
I was driving too.
I was driving and
Saved our lives.
explain what happened.
It was just like nothing was wrong,
The
and
steering
then
wheel thing.
all at once. It just all wheel turned hard, steering wheel turned, and then all of the lights like on the dash came on, just like 0 to 100. I was like, well, that's not good.
Well,
This is not normal.
yeah. So then we walked out and we found the bearing on the side of the road. And then it was a Saturday. It was a Saturday, so then we spent probably 40 minutes calling every place. We're also in the middle of nowhere in Nevada, like, because we're going to have to get a tow. Calling everywhere imaginable to try to get into a shop to get it fixed, but we were like, there's no way it's going to get fixed in time for us to get to San Francisco for the show because it's Saturday and nothing will be open on Sunday. Anyway, we rode on the back of we found something. We rode on the back of a tow truck
In the van.
in the van, which is illegal. And then they hitched the trailer to the tow truck. Luckily, we were only like 20 miles from like the next like biggest city, whatever. And they fixed it within 3 hours, and we were back on the road. And the story doesn't stop there. That's why this story is my favorite story. So then, Mr. Jack here decided to take a risk. We needed gas, and we decided that we were going to take a chance. And we didn't make it. So then we ran out of gas, like, how many miles from the gas station?
6 miles.
No, less. It was 2.5.
2.5 miles from the gas
Because it was a situation, because I talked to a police officer that was helping us out, and he said, like, this happens all the time because there's a gas station 40 miles back, and the next one was the one 2.5 miles away. So he's like, people always underestimate how far the next one is, and they just chase it, and then they run out. And I did that.
And it was like February, so it was freezing cold, and we were just all sitting in the van, like freezing with coats on, while Jack was like riding with this police officer to go get a can of gas or whatever. Also, the goal of the day was to get to Chili's, because we really wanted Chili's.
This is a super long.
It's
story.
a long story, but basically, like
This is
we
all
got
like a day.
we got the gas. We made it to Chili's. Made it to Airbnb finally. There you go.
That was all. Like,
That
one
was
day.
that was the craziest day that I feel like we've had on tour.
Yeah. They did not want you to be at Chili's. They're like, no Chili's today. Definitely.
Universe.
Yeah, but we made it.
Well, what was crazy too is like we had an Airbnb and we had to cancel the Airbnb, and then we were like, because we thought we weren't gonna make it, and then we were like, oh, we are gonna make it. So then that was a whole ordeal too. But we stayed on what, an orange tree farm?
Something like that.
Saw some chickens in the morning. Made it all worth the while. I feel like more so than we've ever been, I feel like we're all pretty much on the same page about like what we want and what our goals are. So I think that like, that's like the biggest way that we've grown. I think that obviously we've just gotten better as writers and producers and just like as an overall operation as well, which is good. But other than that, I mean, we're all pretty much the same as we always have been.
I think we just know more. I think you just start off with like kind of no expectation or understanding of kind of how everything works and figure it out, and you learn things by messing them up. And yeah, I would agree. I think we're just a more well-oiled machine these days than we've ever been.
Yeah. In a lot of ways, we're not at all.
Yeah, we're still figuring.
Have to take the risk. Just take the risk for the gas, you know. Sometimes you don't know, like what you were saying with like music, you don't really know like what people want sometimes, so you just kind of have to be like, okay, they liked this song, so how can I make something new and original, but also take like inspiration from something that they liked.
I think it's also always weird having to like have a business mind about something so like pure and creative, because in theory the whole point is just to make whatever you want and do it honestly, but then you have this whole other section that is very important of the business aspect of being in a band. So I think that's always, it's an interesting learning curve.
There's a lot of answers, and a lot of the answers we cannot really say, but we have a lot of plans for new music and shows and stuff like that. So hopefully 2022 is like a really big year for us as far as being on the road and just releasing stuff. But yeah, we're just kind of head to the ground, like writing and working on new music, and you know, just trying to outdo ourselves as much as possible. So we're having fun. That's the biggest thing.
Just chilling, having fun.
I feel like we haven't done merch in a while. Like new merch.
Yeah, I feel like we're just getting everything ready so that as soon as it pops off, we got it all.
It's gonna be full send all at once is basically what I'm trying to say or speaking to existence here.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you so much for watching the video. If you thought that was cool and want to see more stuff like this, make sure to like and subscribe so I can know that y'all love this and I can do more interviews. So thank you so much, and make sure to listen to music on Laura's playlist on Spotify. Bye!